Right, we're going to sharpen up a straight pointed hook here. First of all, I'm going to put it in the vise. Now, a lot of people, when they first of all put the hook in the vise, they tend to put it in far too high up. Basically, what you need to do, you need to clamp the hook nice and low. What that does, it stops you from having a lot of push off when you're filing, but it also allows you to use this top face as a guide to get nice straight strokes. Right, we're going to do the three-sided method. So we're going to work on the two sides first of all, and then the top of the hook. I'm going to start off with the SP Max file. Now it's a high-speed steel file and it's designed to remove a reasonable amount of material quite quickly. We'll finish it off and really hone the point with the stones later. So I'm going to start off and work this far side. Now, getting the angle correct is very important. You want to work with a natural angle of the hook. You don't want it to be too steep, and likewise you don't want it to be too shallow. Again, you want to try to keep all the removal of material between the point and the barb. You want to try to avoid coming back round towards the bend, because that'll mean your angle is too shallow and you could potentially weaken the bend of the hook, which is the last thing you want to do. Right, so with the file, working with a natural angle of the hook, working in one direction, and that's from barb to point, you want to something around 4 to 6 strokes. When you've done that, check it with the eyeglass and make sure that you're happy with the angle and how much material you've removed. Right, once you're happy with that, now you want to work on the opposite side, and again use the natural angle of the hook around 4, 5, 6 strokes. Now again, what I'm going to do before I look through the eyeglass, I just wipe it on my jumper and poke the point through the jumper, and that just removes off any dust that will interfere with you really looking at that point closely. Now, where I'm filing the two sides, you want to make sure that the two sides come to intersect, and make sure you don't leave any of the original point left. And to check that, you need to look down on top of the hook. So you need to really focus in on that point and make sure that you're happy that those two sides have come together. Once you're happy with that, you need to work on the top face. And again, you need to look at the natural angle of the hook, and this time I shall use my finger as a guide with the file. So I'll start off with 4 or 5 strokes and then check it. Right, again, just poke the point through my jumper. And now this time, because I'm sharpening the top of the hook, you want to look from the side and you want to see that top face come down to a real dead sharp point. Right, not quite there. This is why it's important to do a little bit of work and then check it with the eyeglass. Right, we're pretty much there now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through exactly the same processes again, but this time with the stone. And this will improve the finish, and it will also allow you to hone that point really, really sharp. Whereas with the file, you can only work in one direction. If you need to, with these stones, you can actually come back in both directions. So, again, 4 or 5 strokes, using the top of the vise as a rest. Nice straight strokes, getting the angle right. Right at the point, push it through the jumper, and again look directly down on the point. This is where, now you're finishing it off with the stones, you really want to focus in right on that point and make sure it's really, really sharp. Just a couple more strokes on there. Again, just wipe it off. Right, that's ever so sharp now. Now what we've got to do, we've just got to finish off the top face. So first of all, now I'm going to look from the side, and where it looks really sharp from the top, you can see it's not quite as sharp from the side because we haven't finished the top face yet. So again, exactly the same process as we've done with the file. 4 or 5 strokes. Check it from the side. Nearly there. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, I'm letting the stone and the file do the work. Just wipe that off. Right, we're there now. One final check from the top and make sure it looks sharp from both directions. Right, one last little thing I'd like to do is where you've worked the sides, you can get a sharp edge down there. So at 45 degrees this time, only needs 2 or 3 strokes on both sides, and what that does, that just takes off that sharp edge. And as long as you get the hook to look absolutely super sharp from the side view and the top view, I promise you, you cannot get a hook point any sharper than that.